What's happening, everybody, man? Welcome back. Episode 3, Gridiron Apex Live, man. As y'all know, we starting these shows out with special guests moving here. You know, moving forward, if I can get one on every single week, we're going to get one on every single week. So everybody that's new here, I'm everybody's favorite couch quarterback, Dante, here with my man, Goose, aka Sora. Hold on, I need to switch y'all cameras, by the way. Let me make sure I get y'all right. You ain't Zoe and you ain't Sora, so make sure I get you right. But what's happening, Sora?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Just chilling. Ready for today's show.
Yeah, and then we got, you know, of course, our special guest, man. One guy I respect in the Vikings community. His streams be funny as hell. Sometimes I don't even comment. I just be sitting back, just laughing, bro. But my man, 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀 Sports, my man Zoe, what's happening, bro?
What up, though, Dante? I appreciate it, man. Bring him on the channel, man. You know, we just love to talk football on my channel, man. Like, you've been there a few times.
Yeah.
Just talk football and have a ball.
Facts. So, yeah, go ahead, give us the rundown, Sora, for this week.
I've accidentally muted. So, yeah, for the rundown for this week, first of all, you know, we're going to do a little introduction for Zoe. We're going to have our touchdown or fumble segments. Both of them are going to revolve around Zoe's Minnesota Vikings. Our main topic's going to end up being either J.J. McCarthy or Kyler Murray, who we're leaning towards being the starting quarterback. Our keep 3, cut 5. This was Dante's week, and Dante decided that this was going to be wide receiver 2s in the NFL. So Zoe and I will have to listen to the list that he says, and we'll have to come to agreement of who we want to keep and who we want to cut. Then we're going to get into our main predictions. We're going to start off with the MAC conference for the college side, and then on the NFL, we're going to list off our top 5 safeties and tight end. And then for our final discussion, one that is, I would say, pretty close to both of us, because we've talked about the possibility of Cooper DeJean and the safety position since he was in college.
Yep.
But Vic Fangio kind of came out and said Cooper DeJean's going to play a little bit of safety, and Cooper DeJean confirmed that by saying that he's been watching some Charles Woodson film. So it'll be pretty interesting.
That's crazy. That's crazy work, man. Yeah, so you know, this is gonna be a fun one, because I know Zoe's very opinionated, but I know it all comes from a good spot. He watches football just like we do. Michigan fan, you know what I'm saying? We've had some discussions back and forth about Michigan. He was right one year about his Wolverines, and I was right about J.J. McCarthy the other year. So, you know, it balanced itself out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely balance itself out. So let's go ahead and just get right into it, man. You know, first of all, for people that don't know who you are, man, and you know, and what you do, just who are you?
Man, I'm a diehard Vikings fan. I started doing YouTube probably about, I want to say 3 years ago, going to year 4 in a couple more months. And I just like talking football. So I decided to take my talent to YouTube and social media, man. Like, it was just something, because like a lot of people don't keep it real when you talk about football. They like to sugarcoat it. I try to be 100% honest. And the way I just run my channel is I just try to bring whoever want to come on and talk football, because everybody don't have a platform to talk football. And a lot of people don't read people comments. So I try to interact with the chat, and whoever want to come on my channel, you free to come on, support the channel. And I talk about Vikings, but I really talk about all football, honestly. College, like I even talk about high school, NFL, of course, and I just talk about football all around, even some NBA and boxing. So it'd be a little bit of everything on my channel.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think I've been following you pretty much since the first couple months that you was getting into it. I was introduced to you from a couple people, and then you know, we always kept in touch and things like that. You know what I'm saying? The last time I had anybody from your neck of the woods on was D Woods. He was the last one that I brought on last year. So I was like, gotta get my boy Zoe on to represent the Vikings this year. So you know, like I told you backstage, the reason why I'm doing this is so people not only get access to who you are, but then also understand kind of the dichotomy of, you know, how we do things as well. and then maybe just kind of cross contaminate and get your name out there, and then I get introduced to people on your page as well. It's all about growing together, man. So, and I know you've always been about that since day one. So I definitely appreciate that about you, man.
Respect that.
Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, you got into the YouTube game a couple years ago, but what was one of the main reasons why you wanted to make content?
Because I ain't gonna say no names, nothing like that though, but I will watch certain Vikings content creators. Like I watch them every morning.
I know who you're talking about already.
No, I'm just saying, no, you know what I'm saying? Like the stuff this back when we had Kirk Cousins, and I used to always get mad when it would be everything but Kirk Cousins. Then they would try to sell me Kirk Cousins, a good quarterback. I was like, bro, what is we doing on here? Like what? But everybody was trying to pitch that same narrative. And I just got fed up. And my girl told me, like, do YouTube. She ended up buying me a YouTube kit. And I was so nervous when I did my first video. So I ended up dropping video and just kept pushing.
Yeah, man. That's usually how it starts out. It's funny. It's almost like everybody's journey is like that a little bit. I remember working at the bank with my man Don, and everybody's like, man, you're so opinionated about football and you used to coach. Why don't you start a podcast? And I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to just do it just to see if I like it. And then just ended up liking it since day one, man. And then, of course, we're in a media game, so we're out there boots on the ground, helping our people like you and everybody else. I'm always blessed that a lot of you guys, anytime I come on your show, you guys are always like, hey, man, F what everybody else got going on. We need to ask Dante a question about this because we know he was out there, man. What do you see? So I definitely appreciate that, especially about you. But let's get into the football stuff, man. I got a couple of questions for you, and this is just going to be, we'll throw our 2 cents in, but what is the one move you hope the Vikings make before the season starts, man?
The one move I hope the Vikings make, I would say bring in an edge rusher. We need somebody like, I'm not 100% sold on the edge rushers we have in the building, and we got a couple of dollars we playing with right now. We got like 13 mil. Hopefully they can bring in somebody like Clowney. Clowney don't cost that much. He's still a productive defensive end at the age he is at. And plus, like, we need all hands on deck, man. I'm hoping for the sky, the stars this year, man. I'm reaching for the stars this year.
Yeah. I heard Jadeveon Clowney was messing around with the contract, probably with the Seattle Seahawks. But do you feel like that dude gets disrespected by how productive that he actually is when he's on the field?
It's hard because he all right and his number shows, but it's something about him that I can see why he do get disrespected. But when he play, I want to say he play at an elite level. Like, he be serviceable though. Like, he do play good when he get the chance.
That is true, man. I'm always like, what? Why do people not like this dude for whatever reason? Like,
I don't know. But
it's almost like he's a Band-Aid for a lot of teams when they know that they're down on their luck or like they actually need somebody. He always gets signed right before the beginning of the season, and then end up putting about 5 to 7 sacks. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know why that is.
Me neither.
Well, Blake Cashman is not
him being a rotational player. He's got, he'll always have relatively fresh legs. I'm not saying that he's aged like a fine wine in the NFL, but dude is still able to put up numbers at his age, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. I almost said Blake Cashman. I meant Jonathan Grenard is not on your team anymore. He's actually with Sora's team with the Eagles. Mm-hmm. What do you think that impact is going to be felt for your team this year? Were you high on Jonathan Grenard? How'd you feel about the move?
No, I've been wanting to trade Grenard. He wanted more money, and to me, he wasn't worth the money he got because he played good one year. Then the next year he won't. Like it's like a pattern with Grenard. And plus, we had Dallas Turner ready to play. We drafted him in the first round. He want more money. Contract about to be up in him. Just trade him. Get rid of him. Get what you can get from him.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I know you're kind of like on the other side, like whatever's going to help the team. If we got it, it's kind of like I think about you as like the Andrew Berry type of content creator, right? Andrew Berry just traded Myles Garrett, right? but it made sense of everything that he got back. So for everybody that says like, oh, this was crazy, this was so stupid that they did that. Well, they got a first, second, third round pick over the next 2 years, and they got Jared Verse, who's not nobody to play around with either. So it's like, how much did they really lose outside of a dude that is breaking the record and losing seasons every single year? You know what I'm saying?
And they got younger.
They got younger. I put out on Twitter, I was like, what if Jared Verse breaks Myles Garrett's record? That'd be the most hilarious thing ever.
That'd be crazy.
It ain't gonna happen, but it could. It could. He's pissed off right now.
I like that move though, that the Browns and the Rams did. I respect that trade on both parties.
Yeah, because one team wants to win, but Les Snead is used to doing this. I mean, he did it with Matthew Stafford with Jared Goff, right? And they ended up winning the Super Bowl. This is another Super Bowl move.
Didn't they trade for Ramsey and Von Miller too?
They did. Yeah. Y'all never forget that. I'm a Jaguars fan, so like them 2 first-round picks. And Jalen didn't want to leave, man. I was telling somebody the other day, they were like, man, somebody said Tom Coughlin is a better coach than Mike Tomlin. And I said, brother, what are we doing here?
Nah. Mike Tomlin been doing it longer though.
And Mike Tomlin don't really have losing seasons like that.
No, he
never had one.
He never had one.
Yeah,
he was lucky with them in them 2 Super Bowls for real.
Yeah, but I was like, I remember when Tom Coughlin came to the Jaguars and got mad at Jalen Ramsey for the way he wore his socks, and he's like, dude, do I produce or like, what does my socks have to do with anything? And that's the reason why the whole Jaguars team kind of broke up, because he came in and like changed the mentality of that team.
I forgot he went to the Jags.
Yeah, it's like a player personnel dude, and just tore up the whole culture after we had that. There should have been no reason why that 2017 team should have split up, bro. I'll never forget that. It breaks my heart to this day.
Yeah, that success ended real quick.
Give it 30 years, there's about to be a hell of a documentary on that.
Wasn't Blake Bortles your quarterback?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me tell you the team. It was Blake Bortles. Alan Hearns had like 800 or 900 yards receiving, got let go and went to the Cowboys, and then he ended up getting hurt. We had Leonard Fournette. We had Allen Robinson had 1,000 yards and went crazy that year.
Yeah, we
had Marcel Darius, AJ Boye, Jalen Ramsey, Telvin Smith, Miles Jack, Calais Campbell, bro. Like it was.
Who was our head coach?
Doug Marrone.
Okay. From Buffalo, right?
Yeah, he came from Buffalo. Yeah.
That shit ended quick.
For a great team like that, should have never been split up. The guys love playing together too. They still talk about it to this day. Like if Tom wasn't there, we would have all stuck together.
Damn, he was that bad?
Yeah, I was like, damn, that breaks my heart, man. But talking about futures and teams, man, we know you guys haven't had really any success since Kirk Cousins was there, right? I mean, let's think about it. Like any type of, Case Keenum too, right?
I was going to say Case Keenum.
Yeah, no, I won't say no Kirk.
Yeah, Case Keenum, because he got you to the NFC Championship game, right? But how do you feel about the Vikings' future? You signed a new GM. KOC's, I think he's got one of the hottest seats in football right now. It's about any given week that Justin Jefferson is going to stop being quiet and request a trade at this point if they don't work something out, in my opinion. But how do you feel about the Vikings' future? Do you feel like they're going in the right direction now, or you feel like it's just another year we got to deal with some BS?
No, I think I like the Nolan hire. That hire was good. And plus, he know what he's doing. He's been in football for a long time. He really is like a football guy compared to what we had in the past, in the last GM. And it sounds like, when I listened to the press conference, he got the last say-so on the 53-man roster and what's going on with the team. So I can respect that. And hopefully he can bring some of that Seattle luck over to the Vikings.
Yeah, I hope so, too. I came on your show and I told you about, I love the hire for you guys. I think he's going to come in there, especially having the actual relationship with KOC. Ain't nobody going to tell you like your friend going to tell you, right? You know what I'm saying? Like about the way that things are being run. So, you know, former GMs might not have been able to tell KOC this is what we're going to do and shut up and let's get it done. But you got a GM that's going to be able to at least drop his nuts and be able to do that, you know, coming forward. Torque, what's funny about this comment is I wasn't able to make it to that game, so we would have been in the universe all in the same place. But my wife and her family are at that game, and I told them they gonna kick y'all ass in Pittsburgh, and they ended up doing it. So that's hilarious that our paths could have crossed that day. But yeah, man. Without further ado, man, appreciate you breaking that down, kind of, you know, giving a little bit of an appetizer to people on how you feel about the Vikings. Again, like I tell everybody every single day, you're no holds bar. So when it comes to the Vikings making good decisions, you'll call them out for making good decisions. But then you're kind of like the yin and yang, right? You're like, all right, this is a great decision, but what if things don't work out? And I know a lot of people on your channel end up going after you, but it's like, they don't really listen to what you say sometimes. And
you gotta look at both the pros and the cons.
Thank you, man. Thank you, God. Thank you, man. I appreciate. I'll be trying to tell. They don't listen, man.
Yeah. It's you have to take the positive with the negative, man. It's got to balance out, you know, at the end of the day. So, but you always try to see the other side of it, you know. And even with our arguments about Michigan, you were like, hey, I'm like, man, y'all. How J.J. McCarthy threw 3 interceptions against Bowling Green, dog? Like, there ain't no way y'all win a national championship.
You would never forget that game. You would never. You would.
No, he will
not. And now we can't look over it, right? You'd be like, okay, maybe he was right.
I'm about to say, now it's a glaring side, yeah. Glaring light.
We'll see. We got to give him this year. I do agree with most people. And what we're going to get into it here is, I mean, at least he's got some competition in the room. But before we get to the JJ versus Kyler thing, man, we always play this game on our channel, touchdown or fumble. This is our agree or disagree segment. So those in the comments on both channels, make sure you play along. If you agree with the statement, you're going to say touchdown. If you disagree, you're going to say fumble. We're going to go around the room and get the opinions. And these are 2 Vikings topics. So first one up, regardless of the season outcome, the Vikings need to consider drafting a quarterback. Touchdown or fumble?
So I'll let you start off with this, man.
It's like, man, I would have to say fumble right now, because what if Kyler Murray play good, he get hurt, JJ go in there and show he know what he doing at the quarterback spot. So it's really kind of hard to say you will always draft a quarterback, but okay, what if you go in there and play good? Do you still draft a quarterback and he's still on his rookie deal?
Yeah,
I don't know. I would have to say fumble that one for right now.
Right now, okay. Sore?
I'm gonna end up saying touchdown on this because we talk about I know who I think is going to be a starter. I'm not going to spoil it, but let's look at J.J. McCarthy as well. Let's even look at last year's situation of quarterbacks. There were 4 different variations of quarterbacks. You had Carson Wentz, J.J. McCarthy. He got injured, and then who was even the third one that's throwing on Christmas Day? Max Brosmer.
Yeah.
So health is a concern with JJ as well. You saw it with out the entirety of his rookie season. Out for a bit this year. And I think even if JJ McCarthy or Kyler Murray, whoever is the starting quarterback, even if they do have a good year in 2026, you got to look at Kyler Murray's on a 1-year deal. JJ McCarthy so far has not shown it. Hypothetically, if he does, I still think you should consider drafting a quarterback because man has been injured. And let's look at teams that have stayed competitive that have, followed the quarterback depth. Green Bay Packers drafted Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers is still on the roster. He won 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He left. Jordan Love has gotten Green Bay into the playoffs multiple years. He's gotten them into pretty deep into the playoffs multiple years. He's done well enough. Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz was on the roster. They drafted Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round. Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls and won a Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP. San Francisco 49ers. You added Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, backing up Jimmy Garoppolo. He comes in, and even then, they still kind of add depth in for a little bit for Brock Purdy. So, I think if McCarthy and Kyler struggles, I think this is kind of a pretty no-brainer. It doesn't have to be a first round. You can still spend it on a premium draft pick like what's his face? Cornerback, defensive lineman, offensive line, edge. But notable guys that are in this upcoming draft are Dante Moore, Julian Sayin, Arch Manning, Gunnar Stockton, not Brendan Sorsby, but he was on the list. Noah Fafita, Josh Hoover, Byron, like the list goes on and on. There's so many good quarterbacks in this upcoming draft class. You'd be insane to not put a flyer on one of these guys in a pretty early round. He can even be second.
I agree.
I feel you.
Yeah,
I mean, they got what, a third for Jonathan Grenard from Philly?
Yeah, 2/3, but
yeah.
I think at this point in time, like the more competition that you have in the room and the younger that you get, the more a veteran quarterback is going to be motivated not to get his job taken. So I'm gonna say touchdown on this one. And the great problem that they have is, let's say you guys do trade for Anthony Richardson. That means you're going to have Anthony Richardson, you're going to have J.J. McCarthy, and you draft a quarterback next year. One of them dudes got to turn out the gauntlet and be good. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if KOC is the guy, because I'm on the other side of saying that I don't think KOC has ever been warranted to be a label of a quarterback whisperer. If anything, the Kyle Shanahans of the world, by making Brock Purdy look like Tom Brady his first year, should be the one guy that we always consider to say, hey, whatever quarterback is there. I mean, even you can say the same thing about Mac Jones. Mac Jones looked like a beast out there. Those are quarterback whisperer type of head coaches. Has KOC ever shown to do this? No, I don't think we can say that he ever has. So whenever you have Michael Penix Jr. getting drafted when they paid a whole bunch of money to Kirk Cousins, that means that anybody's job could be taken at any given round, any given day at this point in time, and winners win at the end of the day. And sometimes you can't ignore the talent out there. Do I think they're going to choose one early? I don't think so. I think, like you said, Kyler Murray's still out there, and he might be really good. And then, we'll get into that later. But I think out of this quarterback class, you can't ignore quarterback.
I feel y'all.
Yeah.
There's so many good quarterbacks that are going to be in all of these different rounds, man. Yeah. Again, like even Connor Wegman, like Byron Brown, like they're probably going to go later rounds. They'll still end up being potential guys, just like Darian Mensah, who knows where he's going to go. There's so many quarterbacks. You got to take a flyer on one if you have any question mark.
Yeah.
I think Torque says, I think the Vikings have a cold situation this year. They had AR and Danny Dimes, but they took Riley Leonard. Wouldn't be a surprise if to see the Vikes take someone of Leonard's stature and draft price.
Yeah, hey, because the Colts clearly didn't show enough faith. They signed Phillip Rivers instead of giving Riley Leonard a chance.
Yeah, that was great.
That was insane. And Riley actually didn't look all that bad. I would have loved to see him in a full game.
No.
Yeah. Even when he came in, like he looked okay.
Yeah, Rivers ain't look bad.
No, he didn't. I mean, it was kind of, they dealt with a couple injuries too. It is what it is. The Colts were what they were after Danny Dimes went down. All right, let's get into the next one here. This will be KOC's last year as the Vikings head coach. Touchdown or fumble?
You can go first.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, man.
Yeah, because with this one, I think this will be a touchdown. I think all of the, how Dante was using the quarterback whisperer, I think that entire argument went out the window when you saw Sam Darnold still look like how he looked on the Vikings for Seattle. It wasn't the fact that KOC did that, and even before he went to the Vikings, you saw that a bit with the last few games with the Panthers. That's when Sam Darnold was on that team.
Yep.
Then you saw him, carry the Vikings to almost that first seed. They were fighting for that first seed until week 18. And then, you just recently saw Sam Darnold go to Seattle and win the Super Bowl there. So I don't, Sam Darnold's success was not catered off of KOC. And, Justin Jefferson has been doing everything absolutely right. He has gone with the, I could get one catch as long as we win the game. I don't care. Shout out to Justin Jefferson for that, because certain wide receiver clearly did not feel that way, but that is besides the point. But, you know, I think if, to Dante's point, I don't know if this will happen. I think Justin Jefferson's pretty much locked in of that, you know, Minnesota gave him the chance. He's wanting to stick with Minnesota as long as he can. But eventually there might be the tipping point where he's like, y'all, I can't. I got to get out of here. I'm requesting a trade. If that gets to the point, then I think you're in trouble. If both JJ and Kyler look bad, I think you're in trouble. I think a lot of this rides on Minnesota's going to have to get into the playoffs. They're going to have to win a wild card game for Kevin O'Connell to keep his job.
Yeah, I really, honestly, 100% agree with you. Like, as bad I want Kevin O'Connell gone, and he banking on Kyler Murray to save his job and give him some playoff success, either him or JJ McCarthy. But if the KOC don't get to the playoffs and that quarterback play is bad like last year, or the offense, period, I think he might get clipped. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's really hard to say because you got to know what the quarterbacks do. If Kyler Murray play good and they get into the playoff and sneak out a W, he ain't going nowhere after that season.
Yeah, they're not gonna make the same mistake that if Kyler Murray has a season similar to what Sam Darnold did, where he just surprised everybody. Minnesota looks really good. They're fighting for a top spot in the playoffs. They're not going to make the same mistake that they did with Sam Darnold and let Kyler Murray walk. They're going to sign Kyler Murray. You know, this is I burnt my hand on the stove once. Don't touch the hot stove again. Don't let Kyler Murray walk and just realize that JJ was a wasted pick. You gotta cut your chains there, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's rocking a 632 win percentage right now. But when the lows are really low, they're low. You know, it's like he has a good season, then a bad season. A good season, a bad season over the last 4 years. Again, a lot of stuff has happened during that time, but I think you should get one more chance based off of this situation. But on the other side of that, I don't see how a team that fired their GM.
Yeah.
And now, literally, when you fire your GM and your coach stays, that means that you got a lot of pressure on your shoulders now. Then you just signed a new GM that's supposed to be like we talked about, friends with you, that's going to come in and make some decisions that you may not be happy with. How are you going to be the leader in that locker room? How are you going to be the leader every single game, when the season begins? And how his biggest test this year, and we're going, like I said, we're going to talk about it. I can't wait till we get into the JJ versus Kyler thing. But we all heard the comments. We've all seen after practice what both of those guys said is two totally different viewpoints on how they feel about the situation. But that's his biggest task this year, is how can you handle that situation and put the right guy in the right place? Because you got to sell tickets at the end of the day. That's part of this. It's a business.
I think as well, and something that I want to add as well for the added pressure is Vikings right now are trying to avoid being the bottom of their division, because now the Lions and Bears are good. You know, beforehand in the past, you relied on your main competition was Green Bay, and to try to avoid maybe one upset by a 3-win Lion team, or avoid an upset loss from like a mediocre 6 to 8 win Bears team. Now those two teams are double-digit win teams. You still got the Green Bay Packers, even though after they've moved on from Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love still, keeps them atop of the NFC North majority of the season, or at least puts up a good fight for it. But again, with the Bears and the Lions now on the rise, the Vikings are the bottom team in the NFC North, and they got to avoid doing that, especially if you're the owner. And again, if you let the GM go, that's I'm giving you this 1 year. This is your warning sign.
It's kind of, not saying that these two paths are the same, but it's kind of reminiscent of another situation. It's funny that Kyler's on this team right now. You remember when Cliff Kingsbury wanted Kyler Murray since he was in high school?
Yes.
Finally got him. They had some okay years, but really his success as a coach was literally predicated on Kyler Murray, putting his trust into that. KOC's Kyler Murray is JJ McCarthy. The thing that happened, got hurt his first year, so you're like, Then the second year he ends up getting hurt, but winning some games, and you're like, can we really? It's like, are you trusting in on the project of what is JJ McCarthy because KOC obviously wanted that dude on this team? Or do you go and say, well, how do I manage this situation? Because obviously this dude JJ's pissed off. Kyler's handling it the best way he can, but
Kyler's just happy to be employed.
But again,
like, I'm
a lot of
football. I'm happy.
But it's one of those things. It's like in business, you have to separate the personal from the business, right? Like,
yeah.
But it's always to a fault. So when KOC had brought JJ into his office, what are the promises that he made to JJ before Kyler came, right? If he came in and was like, dude, we're drafting you, understand you got hurt, we didn't have the year that we need to have, but you're the guy moving forward. I got you. I'm going to put you under my wing. We're going to get this thing right. Then a couple weeks later, Kyler Murray has been signed to the Minnesota Vikings. So what is that relationship like? Because that business and personal relationship has now crossed the line at some point in time. And it naturally does because the head coach always wants the best relationship with who? The guy under center most of the time.
Yeah.
So
I think it also is telling that, to go into for the conversation in the office, granted, we don't know, but if they're like, listen, even after the Sam Darnold had, we let him walk, you're the guy. I'm sure that was probably mentioned as well, brought up throughout this conversation, that there is trust in JJ McCarthy. And then again, that second year, though, he still got hurt. He still underperformed.
Yeah.
Created a weird ass persona in 9, and
it's just his dynamic is excusable as a head coach when you look at the whole dynamic of the Minnesota Vikings over the years. But then also, how does everybody in your division get better and you got worse?
Yeah.
Like, I understand the record here, but Zoe's looking at this probably from like, we were at the bottom of the division for 2 years. Like, enough is enough.
Yeah, man, I don't care about no what he told me.
When the Bears and the Lions, who used to be bottom teams for years, have jumped you, and they've been consistent. It wasn't a 1-year wonder thing.
What's my man name at the Chargers that got fired after? Did he reach the AFC title game and went 14-2 or something like? What was his name?
Oh,
Anthony Lynn.
Yeah.
Who?
Anthony Lynn.
No, the other one, the Scott dude. He had Phillip Rivers and LT, all of them.
Oh, you're talking about Marty Schottenheimer.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Yeah. He got fired with a good record. So don't tell me Kevin O'Connell can't get fired because he got a good regular season record.
I mean, shoot. Nick Sirianni has made the playoffs every single year that he's been the head coach, and people still are talking about wanting him out. So,
exactly.
No, I think it was Norv Turner. I think you're right, Torque. I think it was Norv Turner.
Records don't mean much.
Either way it goes, yeah. I mean, Zoe's right. It's like,
what have you done for me lately?
Well, the record thing doesn't matter because of this. You could have a losing record in a really bad division and make the playoffs, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good team.
Yeah, but
look at the Panthers.
The only thing honestly saving KOC and the Vikings is Brian Flores. Like, honestly, that's the only thing saving the Vikings.
And I think honestly, if KOC gets let go, I think that's your replacement right there is Brian Flores.
Yeah, that's straight bars, man. That's straight bars. Hey, shout out to my man
Too
Evil.
Like with how Kyle Whittingham in Utah, he was like, "Yep, this is my guy."
Yeah, shout out to my man Too Evil, man, dropping 10 gifted memberships, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Always been a big supporter over here, and for Vikings Nation representing. So I definitely appreciate you, man.
Every Vikings information we get comes from our Too Evil.
This man out there scouting
reports, and he's like, "Y'all won't believe the shit I heard today."
Yeah, that's definitely Too Evil, man. All right, all right. So let's get right into we've been kind of skipping around this topic, but it's time to have the conversation. And Zoe, just from tuning into your show, I know how you feel about this battle. And you've been going to bat for Kyler and things like that. But at the end of the day, you know, I ask you guys and I ask the chat, man, JJ McCarthy versus Kyler Murray. Is it a legit conversation, or as of week 1, there's definitely going to be a guy and it just is what it is? So, you know, Zoe, since you're the guest on the show, man, I'll let you rip on this one. This is a safe space, sir.
Man,
no, brother, no.
Honestly, Kyler Murray is a better quarterback than JJ McCarthy. When had JJ McCarthy ever been better quarterback than Kyler Murray? Even when Kyler Murray playing bad, as of right now, today, he is a better quarterback than JJ McCarthy. But that's not saying JJ McCarthy can't get good or he won't be good in the NFL. True. I'm saying as of right now, he cannot beat out this quarterback in a quarterback battle. But that don't mean JJ not going to play this year. When had Kyler Murray ever played a whole season? Like, it's been a long time, if he even had. So this is not the end of the world for JJ. Maybe you need to sit back, watch from the sideline, see what Kyler Murray do. Then when he gets a chance, you better take off. That's all I can say. But I got K1 the quarterback week 1 if healthy for the Vikings.
Yeah. Now how on the other side of that, how much and now this is kind of like from my point of view. I believe it's twofold. I believe we're in an emergency situation where we have arguably the best wide receiver on our team, possibly the best number 2 receiver when he's not getting himself in trouble. TJ Hawkinson, you know, has been like this over the years. I think his best days are beyond him, which is sad to say. And you have a running back situation that's not ideal. You have an offensive line that just can't stay healthy. You guys got an otherworldly left tackle that just cannot stay healthy, right? And you got a defense.
I was also just going to say on the offensive side, on top of that, they got Jauan Jennings.
Yeah, and you just bring in Jauan Jennings, which is like the 3-piece special for these guys. So how much do you think that Kyler Murray being signed to the Vikings is a sign for JJ to say, dude, we believe in you, and that's why we brought in Kyler Murray to get you to the next level, not to be this, we're going to go with Kyler Murray for the rest of the time that you're here, but so you can learn to be the quarterback that we need you to be. You didn't really have a veteran presence here, and Carson Wentz is not a dude that's going to pass the torch. Like, let's be honest. Like, he tried that once and threw a hissy fit when Jalen Hurts got there. So
he threw a hissy fit when Nick Foles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, he was mad.
So it's not the best leader, but at least from the interview, Kyler seems like, I want my quarterback to be like that. If you got to lie to make this thing seem better than it is, then do it.
Thank you.
JJ wore his whole emotions on his sleeve, which means that he's not mature enough to come in there and be the face of the franchise right now. But with all that being said, how do you feel about that whole situation? Do you think that that's kind of the angle that they're taking, is like, we believe in you, so we want you to be the guy?
I get what you're saying, because he gets to sit back and like Kyler Murray, PR, you see his answer, you see your answer. Then when JJ go back, look at the tape, like, I could have said this and that, it wouldn't have been no big deal. Like, little things like that he can take from Kyler Murray. And it was a good move, like $1.3 million, whatever he getting paid. And JJ McCarthy, like, all you gotta do is stay healthy and make the plays that I know you can make. Like, you just gotta stay healthy and make the easy throws for real. Like, damn. And shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what that whole interview just rubbed me the wrong way from when JJ just was like, and so he's in the room and I'm in the room. Like, dude, if you got Kyler saying these positive things, you should be on the other side. Like, he's been a veteran in this. This would have been a perfect answer for me as a head coach in the organization. Look, I understand Kyler came in here. Was it frustrating at first? Of course, because I thought that I was the guy. But look, I think it's a positive thing that I have a veteran that's inside this room that I can learn from, and I'm picking his brain every single day, because if I'm playing at my best, he'll play at his best, and maybe one day the team is going to choose who the best quarterback is at the end of the day. Everybody would have been like, hell yeah, JJ, let's go.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what I said on my channel. Like, bro, sometimes you gotta lie, bro. You gotta be a player sometimes.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's also the media is going to nitpick every little thing. You can't, you know, be as sensitive and give the answer that you give. If you're pissed off and upset, save that at home in between your own four walls. You know, you don't have to like Kyler Murray, but don't be like, you know, don't make the comments that you made. Just give the media trained classic answer.
But like I said, if he would have started with, of course, I was pissed off when he came here because I thought I was the guy. But then spin it into a positive and tell everybody that, like, yeah, we get that you're pissed off. Nobody wants their job to be taken, JJ. But give us an answer where it feels like you're actually learning from this too. Then everybody be like, he's a human and he's learning, and this is the guy that I want on my team.
I think you told me, if I'm not mistaken, you said, look what Anthony Richardson's response was toward Daniel Jones.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same situation.
A couple days ago, his was an excellent interview because everybody knows that it was out there that he requested a trade. But he came back, he was like, you know what, man? I requested a trade. Everybody knows it's out there. I just want to play ball. But the reason why I came back to the facility is because I miss it and I want to be here for my team. And they may need me one day to come in and be the guy.
Yeah.
You immediately put a kibosh on any type of he said there's no animosity. It's not weird me being here. It's just business. Everybody knows that. But when you put it out there on Front Street with a smile on your face and you come in, nobody's going to say that Anthony Richardson is a bad dude. The perception to me is that JJ is just a little whiny little bitch right now. Like, let's be 100.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I got another question, though, man. I seen somebody in the chat. You have posted it. They said Kyler Murray is bad. He ain't do nothing to Eric. Listen.
I disagree. Yeah, I disagree with
this.
Fishing.
Yeah, listen, man. Kyler Murray in Arizona, I think he only had a top 10 or top 15 defense once since he's been in Arizona. His offensive receiver core is nothing like the Minnesota Vikings.
Outside of DeAndre Hopkins, when the Cardinals lost DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray had nobody else really. Like DeAndre Hopkins was Kyler Murray's, you know, safety net. He had confidence. I go back to the game, you know, with the Bills where he's throwing it in triple coverage because he knows D-Hop can come down with it. It's that exact same game where you see it on the camera. Kyler Murray is rolling out. He's doing a bootleg to the left, and he smiles downfield because he's like, I know that I've got the timing with DeAndre Hopkins because he has that connection. Connections matter between quarterback and any receiver that you throw to, receiver, running back, tight end. When D-Hop left, everything went down.
And bro, we talking about DeAndre Hopkins. Who else he had? Rondell Moore for a little while, Michael Wilson, I believe. Oh, that might have been later. But the point is, the Vikings' whole structure is B-Flow defense ain't letting you put up no 28 or 29 points on their defense. Kyler Murray don't need to score 30 points or 28 points here to win a football game. In our running back room, it's all right. O-line, if healthy, is a decent O-line. But I'm going to ask y'all this. Them coaches that Kyler Murray had in Arizona, had any of them coaches ever was head coach again?
No, Jonathan Gannon's not. I don't know. Dana's in the comments. She's an Arizona fan. Let us know if any of those coaches became.
No, they didn't. No. I don't know where they got them coaches from. Cliff Kingsbury ain't did nothing in college. And he leave college, become a head coach in the NFL with a dull playbook that do the same thing over and over and over again.
The air raid, yeah.
Like the offense. Come on, man. Like I don't know. I get what people saying, but I don't know. That's crazy.
The weapons weren't the problem. The interior O-line has been an issue for Arizona for years, and Pet Singh had his receivers running 2 out routes to the same depth on what should have been a high-low. I mean, elementary-ass concepts. I mean, again,
all over again.
The one thing that I'll defend Kyler on is like he was doing his best impression of Russell Wilson every single week because the O-line was weak. I mean, people want to say, oh, he looked like a midget back there running around, but it's like, is he running for a reason? Because I never watched Kyler Murray and said, oh, this dude is just running to run. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never really saw that in a game, and people forget the season that they went 10-0 for the first 10 games of the season, and he was in MVP form.
Yeah, he was in. I think that was when, and again, they just self-imploded against the Rams. That playoff game just had not been the same since.
Yeah, and plus he was a top 10 rookie quarterback in passing yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
3,700, 3,800 yards. Come on. Like the Minnesota Vikings, they really ain't that bad of a team. If KOC can get the play call just a little bit right.
That's it.
Again, like Justin Jefferson, Jawan Jennings, Jordan Addison, when he's not being an idiot, like this is probably the best receiving core, like trio that Kyler Murray has had at once. You know, you can say the Michael Wilson and D-Hop back in the day, but like at once, every single piece is good. TJ Hawkinson, depending on, you know, what stage that he's at,
Josh Oliver
is a reliable target.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they got weapons. We just need to run the ball a little bit more. Let Kyler Murray do a little run plays, run the ball to loose the defense up, and score some points, and let the defense do the rest. It really ain't that hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it is the running game. They've been trying to figure it out, but Torque, that offensive line has been. It's like when Christian Darrisaw goes down, they just fumble, bro. They just crumble under pressure. So, I mean, I can't really blame Aaron Jones or Jordan Mason for being kind of underwhelming when that happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it ain't that, though. By that comment he's saying, if you look at the Viking stats, they don't run the ball that often.
That's true, too.
They run the ball they probably run the ball 10 or 11 times a game. That's great.
Yeah.
They were out there getting, you know, Carson Wentz killed.
Yeah, man, somebody should have went to jail.
Yeah, for real.
that was crazy. That was
crazy. Said, I'm tired, boss. I can't do this no more.
Yeah, man. So week 1, I think we're all in agreement that Kyler Murray is going to be the guy stepping in there, right?
Yeah.
Under center. You know, looking at their schedule right now, so I know it's way too early. We haven't gone through mandatory minicamp and all that, but I know you've looked at the schedule up and down. What is this? I won't ask you what the exact record is. I like to get like a ceiling and a floor. I think that's more accurate at this point in time. Like, where do you see the floor being for the Vikings working out the way that we already think with the roster in mind, right? You already have those 53 guys in your head you think is going to be with a couple moves that may be made. But what's the ceiling and the floor for the Vikings for you?
My record prediction is 13-4. That's the ceiling. The floor for the Vikings, I'll probably say, man, it has to be 9 or 10 wins. I can't see no 7 or 6. I can't see that. Like if you look at the way we played last year, and the way we won 9 games, and my defense was bullying people, and the offense was just wasting the day. Was just on the field. Like, we ain't getting nothing from the offense really last year, and we damn near swept the Bears. If it wasn't for that damn kick return that put them in field goal range to win at the last second. Like, the Viking team, to me, honestly, is probably the best team in the NFC North. The Bears ain't got no defense. The Lions don't know what playbook they using, and the Packers just the Packers. That's just my opinion. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I think the Packers might be the worst team in this division if things shake out. I know.
Who they receivers?
I'm concerned for sure.
That's why that other dude went back to wide receiver. The dude, his name was Bo Milton. Last year,
Bo Milton. Yeah.
He back at wide receiver now.
Yep.
That's how bad it is over there at the wide receiver spot.
I mean, you know, your defense on top of that, again, Christmas against the Lions, Max Brosmer, 9 for 16, 51 yards, and y'all still won that game 23-10. Like, and that game was definitely good.
In that game, the Lions needed that to stay in the playoff race. We eliminated the Lions from the playoffs.
This is true.
And the Cowboys
eliminate the Lions.
And we eliminated the Cowboys from the playoffs.
Yes, we appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I want to.
Interesting.
I definitely wanted to get you on to talk about this topic in particular, and it just so happened that after practice, comments were made by both of them. I was like, ooh, this is gonna make it even more juicy for us when we get to
I
this.
saw that
to this
immediately,
topic.
and I was like, post.
Yeah.
I ain't like them comments though. I told people when we live, like, if you got to lie, bro, just lie. Keep it like, oh, it's great. He a veteran quarterback. We both compete. Everything is everything. Like, and nobody say nothing. But you go say what you say. The media gonna blow it up because at this point you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing right.
Yeah.
It's also like, you can pretty much tell that like the pressure was already on, and especially after seeing Sam Darnold win the Super Bowl, like that, even before Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, the guy that they had previously that was playing quarterback for your team because you missed your entire season due to an injury. You had no control of that, obviously, but it's like you see Sam Darnold win the Super Bowl, you see him like almost fight for the first seed. They walk. You're the guy. You have a mediocre second season. You get injured again. Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl. There's already pressure on you that like, oh man, we made a mistake. Then you sign another veteran and there's even more pressure. And then you give comments like that, you have folded under the pressure.
Yeah, like he talking about that we do. Yeah, the Vikings, like, I really like the way our offense line is looking because we traded for a tackle from Buffalo. I don't know if y'all know or not. We traded for a tackle from Buffalo.
You talking about Ryan Van Denmark?
I like him. Like, I think he might be okay. I like him. Then we did draft a center. Then we also picked up some more O-line.
It was Gavin Gerhardt, and then you picked up Caleb Tiernan from Northwestern, I believe.
Right. And
left tackle, the backup Christian Darris. So I thought that was a fantastic move.
Yeah, I say, and I heard he was a good player. He just got short arm. People were complaining about.
He's big as hell though. He shouldn't have
they did try to retool that O-line in case people go down compared to last year, but. And we ain't talking about. I don't know if you got this up here or not for the next questions. We got Big Caleb Banks.
Yeah,
man, we got Big Banks
on top of that.
My guy,
damn good defense. Yes,
and we got Big Dominique Orn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And listen,
I love. I mean, it was one of my favorite drafts up and down that you guys did for sure, and I was happy for Caleb that he went as high as he did to you guys. And I was like, ooh, if you weren't going to get Dylan Thieneman and you guys have had DT troubles forever, the way that you guys doubled up and got two capable guys, and they're two totally different capable guys. That's what people don't understand. Like, you're not going to put Caleb at nose tackle and just keep him there. He played up and down that defensive line for Florida. And when I watched the tape, like, I broke down every single snap for like 4 games of him last year and the year before. And I was like, yo, how is he not the number? And that's when he caught Game of Us, and that's how we became friends and everything. And he was telling me, like, when I saw him at the Senior Bowl, he was like, bruh, that people are gonna sleep on me, and I'm gonna come in there, I'm gonna just wreck shop. And he's a good dude too. At the end of the day, like, motivates his teammates, always out there, very vocal. And then even after the combine, when he broke his foot, and I was talking to him, he was like, man, ain't got nothing to worry about, bro. Like,
my little brother was good.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he's from here. He's from Detroit.
Yeah. I know he's from up north. Yeah, man. For people to freak out about that, is obviously people that just didn't watch the tape, bro. Because there's the dude is so dominant, is insane.
He's so big. Look how big he is.
And he's fast as shit.
Man,
it was the same thing that people said about like Jordan Davis. Like, a big man should not be moving that fast. It's the same way with Caleb Banks.
It's Jordan Davis on steroids. It's Jordan Davis on steroids, bro, because he plays all up. You can put him at defensive end. You can put him at the wide 9, and he's going to wreck shop, bro. It's insane. The stuff that when he went there, I was like, man, Brian Flores would draft him, wouldn't he?
Brian Flores was licking his chops, bro. Like, that was a Brian Flores pick.
I didn't even think about the possibility of that happening.
And I like the boy Jacoby. What's the fuck his name? Thomas Jacoby. What's his name?
Oh, Jacoby Thomas. Oh, that's
that's his name.
I did a film breakdown, and the Vikings fans were crazy with that one, bro. He made my top. He made my top 5 safeties.
People sleeping on the Vikings, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. They want to say Kyler Murray is a bum. He can't play. Like, okay.
Hey, I've been critical of the Vikings draft and everything in the past, and people want to call me a hater, but I just call it like I call it, man. This year I'm praising you guys. I loved all the moves that you guys made, including getting Kyler. Like, I think it's a step in the right direction finally, and your draft was lights out, man. Like, you're just preparing for the future.
And I gotta put this on your channel too, though. And I'm a big fan. We brought in Frank Smith from the Miami Dolphins. He is a good run game coordinator guy. So, so the Vikings might be leaning towards running the football a little bit more. And plus, KOC, he needs to win. So,
yeah, your defense is absolutely, it's primed to hit that ceiling that you stated.
Facts.
For sure.
For sure, the best in the division.
Yeah. And again, Kyler Murray has the best probably trio of weapons that he's ever had altogether. You know, you can maybe argue that he hasn't had the best weapons of all, or like these aren't the best weapons of his entire career, although I think that's pretty close. But, you know, he went from Greg Dortch to Juwan Jennings and Jordan Addison, you know, so.
And plus, man, let's all be real, y'all. Kyler Murray should have left Arizona 2 years ago. That relationship was over with.
Oh yeah, he should never sign that big contract.
No,
he should have tested free agency.
We all knew he should have left Arizona when his contract was due.
Yeah,
it's like he stayed too long.
Well, because he knew that the Cardinals are going to pay him whatever. That's what it was, and they. I mean, it's kind of like that chess game, right? It's like, well, if Kyler goes somewhere and gets a big payday on another team and he takes him over the hump, then we're going to look like idiots. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like the mental game that a lot of people don't like to talk about all the time. It's like it's kind of like what happened to you guys this year. Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold went to two other places. Daniel Jones had the best looking team in the AFC until he got hurt. And Sam Darnold obviously had the best looking NFC team. Like, how is that possible, Zoe? But you knew we couldn't keep both of them. Right. And even if we wanted to keep both of them, Sam Darnold wasn't going to stay because we drafted JJ. Like, and Daniel Jones is going to say the same thing. Like, why would I stay? Because y'all just going to promote this dude. So it's the chess match. And I mean, you could talk about, and I see 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 comment, you know, that was kind of 𝗕𝘂𝘀's. You got to kind of give 𝗕𝘂𝘀 credit for that too, because it's like, how do you handle that situation? I got 3 capable guys. Do I go with the future because we drafted him so high, even though he's coming off of injury? Sam gave us a 14-win season. Daniel looks pretty good. You know, everybody knows he's got talent. And then I literally think he got fired for the perception of both of those guys going to other places, and they were just like, how'd you allow that to happen, bro? But that's a tough spot to be in.
I think Sam got him fired. After they won the Super Bowl, his ass got fired immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the writing's on the wall. So, I mean, when you talk about the draft on day 1 and day 2, it's a chess match too, and depending on the spot that you're in. Because, like, the draft is the hardest thing for a GM to do. First of all, you got to have a pretty bulletproof board. Second of all, you are counting on your scouts to go out there and give you the best information. And let me tell you, a lot of people that are scouts in the NFL are not former coaches or not former players. So they get asked stupid questions about, like, what's his neighborhood life like? Yeah. Bro, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody cares about that.
Did he have a mom and daddy?
Yeah. But those are the stupid, I'm telling y'all, like, I know those are the stupid questions that get asked. So for us to put, like, all this faith in, like, your scouting department, you really do. It really comes down, your draft really comes down to how good your scouting department is. Because you go to somewhere like the Rams, they're like, we don't give a shit about none of that. Like, this stuff is coming out about Ty Simpson and you could barely read in high school and all this stuff. You think that they care? No, because Ty Simpson could read a defense. He was tough as nails last year, and he was the best part of Alabama. And that's the reason why he got drafted to the Rams, because they needed another quarterback. Just is what it is. That's what their scout said. He was the best quarterback next to Fernando Mendoza. And we know Matt is he's one back injury away from not starting this season. So let's go secure our guy. Those what scouting departments do and hit it out the park time and time again.
Yeah, it's very much the also, you know, again, to go with the injury of the, you know, Matt Stafford is one bad injury from at his age to being like, it's going to take me a longer time to recover. We're gonna invest because we're in a win now mode. We can win this Super Bowl, especially before and after this Myles Garrett trade.
Yeah. The rumor was the final nail in the coffin with 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀 was his relationship with Flores, who seemed to have a significant impact on his last draft.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, if KOC gets fired, Brian Flores is just inheriting that team.
You think so?
Yeah. If he you look at the draft again, Caleb Banks, Dominique Orange.
Oh, it was Casey draft for sure.
Yeah, that was what's his face? That was Brian Flores. That was a Brian Flores draft. And then on top of that, you also throw in Jacoby Thomas as well. Like everything about this screamed Brian Flores. And again, the defense wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
So if it's choosing between do we just promote him and then we can keep that defense and hope that he brings in a good offensive mind and doesn't make the same mistakes like he did with Miami on that offense, or do we risk hiring somebody else and losing Brian Flores as well?
I don't know. I heard B-Flow wanted my man told me TB said B-Flow for his OC we're looking at Brian Leftwich, so I don't know.
That doesn't make sense because Byron Leftwich, ever since he left the NFL, said he wanted to go and start at the college level. That's why he's at Colorado right now.
Oh, I don't know.
He wanted to kind of work his way up before he got another NFL gig. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why Byron would want to do that when he proved that he could be a guy somewhere. Maybe he rubbed somebody the wrong way too. I mean, you just never know. You never know. He could have been sending out a string of emails talking about all these teams suck balls. I hate all these guys, and then they blackmail him from the NFL. You saw what happened with John Gruden, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair. John, good old Johnny boy.
Yeah.
Well, they fired 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀 before the draft, so yeah, they did. That man was at the Senior Bowl standing by himself, bro.
Yeah, he got fired after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was at the Senior Bowl standing by himself. He wasn't talking to no other GMs or nothing, bro. He's a weird individual from what I hear. So I don't know. It is what it is. But let's get into the next thing, man. The final topic was Zoe. Before we get you out of here, we got to end this on a fun note. I got the 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 NFL number 2 receivers. So I got a list of the best number 2 receivers in the NFL. And I kind of randomized them, and you don't know what order that they're in, but you tell me if you want to keep them or if you want to cut them. So let me.
When it's my turn to do these, it's always funner making the topic.
Yeah,
it's not as stressful,
Right. Where is my? Oh my gosh, did I lose my sheet with all the players on it?
I'm now trying to imagine what all the potential people that can show up here.
Yeah. Hold on. I think I lost my list. This ain't good. Hold on now.
No, Smith ain't the number 2 receiver no more.
Who's that?
Smith.
Who?
Devontae Smith.
Oh, Devontae Smith. Oh, yeah. You can't.
He was the true wide receiver 1. If his name would have popped up, I'd have been 1, automatic keep. 2, switch it to AJ Brown. Smitty, the wide receiver 1.
I got my list up.
Excellent.
Everybody in the chat, feel free to play along. But the first name up on the 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is Jameson Williams from the Lions. Are you keeping or are you cutting?
Who go first?
Well, we work together.
You work as a team. Yeah, it's a team effort.
Shit. I cut.
Came off his first 1K season.
Exactly. It's the first 1K season. You add injuries and gambling troubles as well on top of all that.
Ain't like a one-trick pony to me.
I agree.
Yeah, he was. He to me is what people were saying about Jalen Hyatt. So I would say cut. Would you agree with that?
Me, I say yeah.
Cut? Okay.
All right, so your first cut is Jameson Williams. Make sure that this is good. All right, next name up is going to be Devontae Adams. Actually, he's a number 2 now because Puka Nacua is the number 1. It's a spicy one.
He's 3, cut 2. I ain't gonna lie. I would have to keep Adams.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like this is a keep, man. Even with 𝗕𝘂𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 out there, it almost damn near felt like he was the number one. He was a red zone machine for Matthew Stafford.
He still was ball.
I think he led the league in touchdowns.
Did he lead the league in receiving touchdowns too? Yeah, keep Davante Adams, man.
Let me see who had the most touchdowns.
Unk still got it.
Yep, Davante Adams led the league in touchdowns this year with 14. I think he led the league in touchdowns.
Unk still got it, bro. League in receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, he do.
Whatever that meme is.
All right, next one up. So we got your first keep. So you got 2 more keeps after this.
Yeah, I feel good about the Davante Adams one. But again, that's one that I wouldn't have. That's one that, while you were waiting on the list, trying to think of who did think of Davante Adams. So now I'm nervous.
Yeah, he's technically a number 2.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm nervous.
You say keep 3. So that's 1. We at number 3 now.
Yeah, number 3 is Jordan Addison.
Oh boy, John. You got
this was one that I thought, but I don't know, man.
He be producing. You don't like John?
No, but I'm trying to think, and to Torque's logic, I'm thinking Pickens or even CeeDee Lamb. Like one of those two, I'd keep over Jordan Addison. T. Higgins, I would keep over Jordan Addison.
Yeah, but who knows if those guys are on this list?
I know, and that's that's the problem. But like, I'd be hard pressed if a Cowboy isn't on here, which pains me to say. But like, they had 2 damn good receivers.
Mm-hmm. Pickens on here.
Yeah. And again, it's also I take into the driving accountabilities. Can I really trust him for the entire season?
Yeah, my boy.
I'm gonna lean cut, man. I'm leaning cut on this one. I think we still have too many. We're at 3 already. We can't burn 2 keeps.
So the next two we're gonna have to keep.
No, we have 8. There's 8 lists.
Oh.
Yeah, it's keep 3, cut 5, total of 8 players.
Oh, yeah, right.
All right, next one up is George Pickens.
Keep.
You got to keep Pickens. I ain't gonna lie. Even though he a nutcase, you got to keep him.
Yeah, that one's pretty hard to not keep.
Yeah. Again, I'd even argue that he was the number 1 and CeeDee Lamb was the 2. But again, keep either way.
Yep. Next one up, Michael Wilson.
Oh.
Here's a crazy stat about Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson and Nico Collins' stats are identical. To put it in perspective.
Wilson had a decent year last year. But damn, we cut a job. I know we're going to cut Wilson.
Yeah, if you're going off that logic, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, personally, I think Jordan Addison's better than Michael Wilson. So
me too, but you know what I'm saying?
You only got 1 more keep left, and you got 3 more players.
I know. Yeah, I mean, if we cut Addison, we'll have to cut. Yeah,
Wilson.
If we cut Addison, we got to cut Wilson.
That's real.
All right, next one up. Now this one I know it's gonna get you thinking right here because you gotta
be like Romeo Dobbs or something.
Parker Washington.
Where's he at?
Jacksonville. He was our number 1 receiver this year.
I don't know. Really, I don't know.
One of the Jaguars is gonna pop up. Torque. Torque just put it. Yep, you was right. So Parker Washington.
Who did we keep? We got Pickens, Adam. I'm cutting him, man.
Oh my God, I'm seeing the future on this list.
And this was all put through the randomizer. So
I know. That's the.
You got 2 more names after this.
That's what I'm saying. 2 more. You got to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with cutting Parker Washington.
All right. So you're cutting Parker Washington. Next name up, T. Higgins.
Oh, we don't even got to wait for 8. All right. Who do we potentially think? I think this is a keep, but who do we potentially think 8 could be?
That's what I'm trying to think. Who?
Either way, I still think this is a bona fide keep. I mean,
I do too, though.
I'm just trying to think. I don't know if you can really say anybody from the Eagles. Obviously with Smitty being one now, AJ Brown's gone. I mean, the most I could think of is arguing Romeo Doubs for the Patriots. But like, would you keep T. Higgins over Romeo Doubs? And do we even think Romeo Doubs is going to pop up?
Right. I'm keeping Higgins though.
I'm keeping Higgins too. I just wanted to pose this question because we got to work together on this.
All right. So let's run through the list one final time. Make sure that y'all solidified here. You're cutting Jameson Williams. You're keeping Devontae Adams. You're cutting Jordan Addison, but you're keeping George Pickens. You're also cutting Michael Wilson and Parker Washington. I actually need to spell his name right. And you're keeping T. Higgins. Your last cut of the day, make sure I got my list up here, is Michael Pittman Jr.
Ooh, he all right.
I think you guys had a perfect list.
I think we'll have. I think if this were next year, after seeing, if we saw him with 1 year with Pittsburgh, I think that could have posed potential. But I'm happy with this. This is pretty much exactly. Even when we got to Jordan Addison, Torque, you want to talk about seeing the future? I saw, because I was like, you got to think T. Higgins might be on here. One of the Dallas receivers are going to be on here.
Yeah, and the rest, like all these number twos, you would keep over the people. Like everybody would keep these number two receivers.
The only one that I think you could objectively keep, and I would have been okay with, is Jordan Addison. But you're talking about the potential. But we're talking about them being. If Jordan Addison didn't have the off-field issues, and he was the number one on the team, he'd be a 12 to 1,300 receiver every single year.
Yeah,
But that's what I look at. Devontae Adams could be a number one somewhere.
Yeah.
T. Higgins could. George Pickens could. Like, these are the correct answers in my opinion. But this is.
I think honorable mention is Jordan Addison. But again, it's just.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I gambled on I think a Dallas receiver is going to be on here, and
I do think it was going to be there, and because it ain't that many good number twos in the NFL for you look at it.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, man. Well, Zoe, man, we appreciate you. This has been mad fun having you on here, man. Let everybody know where they can find you before you get up out of here.
Man, you can find me on all social media platforms. In the Zone Sports, Zoe-N Sports. Of course, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, Twitter. I'm on TikTok real heavy. So, come over to the chat, hop on a live stream with us. Talk some football and rep your team, and you gotta talk your football over there, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. And if anybody wants to know on my channel, his link is in the description of the video. It will stay on here even after the live stream. So if you're watching this on the replay, if you want to find Zoe, just make sure you click the link. Actually, everybody stop what you're doing right now. Go to Zoe's channel and press subscribe, and then come back. Let y'all do that.
Yo, Dante, I appreciate you bringing me on your platform tonight.
Yeah, man. It's been mad fun. Appreciate you, bro. Have a safe rest of your week. And we're going to connect in the middle of the season. We're going to bring you back to talk about your Vikings. So hopefully you guys are in a good spot, man.
Enjoy.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
For sure. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
All right.
Yeah, I think that was the objectively correct one. I think, is that also the first time that we've ended before we got to 8? We may have done it one other time.
I think maybe one other time we may have done it for sure.
Either way, chat, we did it. We made the objectively correct list.
Facts.
That Jordan Addison was tough though. It was just do I think that?
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was. Next week's guest, we're gonna be able to talk a little bit more and kind of mix up some college football stuff. One of my favorite buddies on the actually met him through Twitter, my man Omari, that does a lot of stuff for the Jets, but love his takes on the draft. I usually don't agree with everybody or agree with everything that they're saying, because I think a lot of people out there cap when people say, "Oh, I watched
the blinders on."
I watched every single game from each prospect for 3 prospects today. You're lying. There's no way that you could skim through a game and understand exactly all the players. Like, it's nasty work that some things that people be doing on this app, man. But
or their version of it is they just have it and it just runs through.
Yeah. Yep. They put it in Chat GPT and it spits something out for them.
Well, I was gonna say no stops, no like pausing, rewinding, or analyzing it, dissecting it play by play. It's basically like watching it live. You don't have enough time to process what just happened.
That literally happened, bro. We should have took a picture of that guy.
Yeah, at the combine, I agree.
Or at least took a video of him and blurred his face out if he was to turn around. To keep his identity. See, we're not that much of assholes. We'll keep your identity. Your identity is safe with us. But
you got the Spider-Man mask on, you know.
Yeah, I mean that was nasty work, man. I really couldn't believe my eyes when we saw that. Anyways,
anyways, the MACtion,
the Mid-American Conference, man. This one was fun. This one was fun to go back and see all the rosters. I did hate our lads for not having all the rosters updated. That made this a little bit hard, so I had to go and dig through 247 Sports. I had to go on Twitter. I had to make sure I got the correct rosters. I had to go to all the teams' websites, for all the college websites, to make sure I had my information right. But the MAC is up next. Y'all know how we do. We're going to give you our runners up and we're going to give you our winners in the conference. First one up. Make sure I got my notes pulled up because I wrote a ton of notes for this team. Let me make sure.
Yeah, I did not see any of the picks that you made or that Don made. I got mine in pretty early. And
I try to put mine in there late so you don't see him until like the beginning of the show. So I'm glad that the suspense is killing me.
Yeah, I'll usually try to do like I'll have it on a separate sheet, and as it goes on, like just double check all that, and then it'll just be like copy paste. Let me get out of there quickly.
Torque, I agree with you, man. Even though they're my runners up in this situation, I think they're going to be, if not the winner, they'll be right under the 2 teams I chose. Love what Eddie George has been doing with every single team that he's been with. I think he's a legit coach. I called it out last year when he was with Bowling Green, and they did pretty well. Just like my Hawaii pick, we went out there and we put ourselves on the limb, but those teams actually proved to be pretty good. I'm glad we were some of the first ones to talk about it last year. And I'm super excited to see what he does. I'm super excited to see what he does with Bowling Green for sure. Moving forward,
the MAC, unironically, is pretty good because you got Bowling Green obviously over there, Western Michigan, Toledo, Miami of Ohio. I think those are going to be like the top 4 teams. I think they're going to be fighting throughout all of it this season.
When you talk about G6 schools, they might be conferences. They might be the best one, low key. Yeah. I mean, just like bar for bar, right? Bar for bar. So, first one up. I have Toledo as my runner up. I understand.
I thought you said you had Bowling. Okay.
Huh? No. I said that I agree with Torque if he was picking Bowling Green. I was saying out of the 2 teams that I picked, they were in the conversation. They could have been number 1.
Gotcha. Never mind.
Yeah, so Jason Candle ends up leaving to UConn, and Mike Jacobs is going to pick up where he left off. He previously coached at Mercer, which Mercer always gets beat down from everybody. But here's what I'll say: the amount of transfers that this guy got in, as far as like guys that have really good resumes. You're talking about Andrew Zock that's going to come over from Mercer with him, who was the FCS Defensive Player of the Year. Then you have Rico Bond, wide receiver, first team all OVC from Lindenwood. Like, these are the type of guys that he was bringing over in the transfer portal. they brought in the #1 transfer portal class in the Mid-American Conference. 36 new student athletes. 14 transfer from Mercer to follow Coach Jacobs. So if that tells you anything, that this team is ready to go, and they really trust their coach. Now, when we talk about transfers that come from big schools, right? Yeah, Dylan Cinda, you have Anthony Simpson, both coming from Michigan. So Dylan Cinda is an offensive lineman. If you know anything about offensive linemen from Michigan, they're always really, really good. You remember 2 years ago when damn near every single offensive lineman and then the backup got drafted, and then Anthony Simpson coming from Michigan as well. So a lot of these guys just want a chance. Maybe they might make a progressive move. One of their biggest departures were Brandon Alls that transferred and committed to Iowa State, which Iowa State's roster is in shambles, and I hope they kind of make it out. I think with the philosophy of knowing who you're playing for, right? You're playing for Toledo, who's always been a really good team. That they're going to bring the Thunder every single week. They're known to be one of the best teams year to year to year in the MAC. I think even though they're undergoing a huge, significant overhaul on their roster, I think, especially at the offensive line, is where they're the most secure. And at their offensive line, they're going to be able to do a lot of things to continue the success that they had. So that's why I have them as my runner-up. And they're getting a lot of key pieces. They're going to miss it this year. I think it'll be a tough year for them. I think they win a lot of close games. But I just think right now, Toledo is going to be the runner-up based on their schedule and how things are going to pan out. And they're actually going to play my #1 team on their schedule as well. So I'm super excited to see that. But who's your runner-up?
My runner-up for me is going to end up being Western Michigan.
Who were the champions last year, right?
They were champions last year, yes.
Yep.
So, I think they're still going to stay atop of the MACtion, but, I have them as my runner-up. To start off with, they've got pretty much elite quarterback play. They're going to bring back Brock Lowry, the reigning MAC Offensive Player of the Year. He accounted for 2,800 total yards, 23 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. And also rushed for 963 yards and 14 touchdowns on the ground. This is starting off as well with Western Michigan started off doing a 2-quarterback system and then basically transferred over to Brock Lowry as our guy. And now you're going into next year with the full season of there is no 2 QB system. Brock Lowry is the quarterback. End of discussion.
Right.
Obviously, not sharing the snaps, returning player. So he already knows the system. They've already pretty much got it implemented of their quarterback. This is just more so coming back, doing it again. They've got championship levels still. They retain much of the core that won the MAC, the 10 games. So a lot of the guys are coming back. And on top of that, also the bowl game. And I think it's going to be really interesting because their first game is Michigan. And I think I honestly do think they can put up kind of a fight for that. For this being Kyle Whittingham's
I think so
first
too.
game with Michigan.
I think so
it's
too.
A state rivalry. I don't know. As we get closer, maybe it'll change. Obviously, I think Michigan still will win that, but I think it's going to end up being pretty much a dogfight. It's going to be sloppy for Michigan, and for Western Michigan, that's returning a lot of key pieces versus Michigan that's dealing with the new coach, new system, trying to figure things out. I don't know. Western Michigan might be able to mess around and get that out-of-conference win, but against Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Running game is absolutely still diabolical. Outside of Lowry, that wasn't just brought back. Jalen Buckley came back, who surpassed 1,000 rushing yards and scored 10 touchdowns. So you're going to deal with a dangerous quarterback run game. You're going to deal with dangerous, like a dual threat quarterback, an established featured back, and also an experienced offensive system. And their coach Lance Taylor has pretty much had the program trending up. Like Western Michigan used to be awful.
Dog shit.
Couldn't scratch 4 wins. Bowl game was honestly like euphoria for them.
Facts.
And now it's constantly we're in talks of winning the MAC,
Yep.
And obviously they reloaded very well in the transfer portal. 21 transfers, including multiple players with Power 4 experience. And obviously, they pretty much reinforced that defense because that was kind of where they lost a lot of guys. They brought in a bunch of guys with Power 4 experience, 21 transfers, and they kind of reloaded that defense.
Yep. I mean, I was really fighting between. I mean, they're obviously a runner-up for me too. Them and Bowling Green are my two runner-ups. Usually teams
so you don't have Western Michigan. Okay.
No, spoiler alert, I don't have Western Michigan as my winner.
I wonder if it's who my honorable mention was because I was fighting with one as well.
Well, actually,
I was fighting with Miami of Ohio.
I did not.
Really?
Nope.
Okay, so I have no idea then.
It's actually a newcomer, Sacramento State.
Real? Okay.
This is my winner. Look, man, when you're talking about some of the best teams that were in the FCS year to year to year, just with the experience alone, and them just kind of like, toying with the fact that they were going to come up for years. Now they're here. And it was to the point where, if y'all remember, Sacramento State was saying, we want to join a conference, but nobody's invited us, right? Man, I understand that they lost Brendan Marion to Colorado. So Alonzo Carter comes in, was appointed as a new head coach, making his first year appearance. But here's what I'll say: it's the key players that they're bringing up. Carson Conklin returns to Sacramento State after his stint with Fresno State. So he's already played at this level. He's already played for a good enough team. He had to sit behind what's his name last year, but now he's back. And part of the appeal is, of course, now Sacramento State is back in the FBS. Amari Wallace was a Power 4 talent coming from Miami. If anybody knows about the Miami receiving core, all those guys were good. And then they got Jamel Howard that transferred in, a 311-pound monster from Wisconsin who was crucial for the defensive line against the run.
Man was eating so much Culver's, bro. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. So they're bringing in 33 new players to their team. And if he just continues to go down the line, you have Jace Wilson, wide receiver coming from UTSA, Elijah Washington, wide receiver coming from Oregon State, Sincere Rainey, running back coming from San Diego State. So he's getting a lot of good players that are going to come and immediately going to be an impact for them. Now, you have notable names like Ernest Campbell, their wide receiver. He transferred to Colorado, which I don't know if he's actually going to be a significant part of the passing game for them because they have a bunch of monsters over there, notably like Danny Scudero, right? Now, they with Sacramento State, the one thing that they have to get over, and if they win this game, I'm totally confident that they're going to be the best team, and they have to play Toledo, right? And with that, I just had to make sure, because I was looking through all these schedules, so they're starting to run up, but I have this noted. They played Toledo like right at the tail end of the season. It's their third from last game. And they have to go against Eastern Michigan. Huh?
I would say November.
November 4th is when they play, and they play them in Sacramento. If they get through, now their schedule's kind of a gauntlet, but if they can beat Fresno State, if they can stay competitive with North Dakota State, who we already talked about, then they start playing UMass, Bowling Green, Ohio, Ball State, and Kent State. It's a hell of a schedule to play. They end this thing out with playing Hawaii in Hawaii. But favorable bye week after they play their first 5 games. They're in the bye week. Then they go and play Bowling Green.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man, I just knowing what I know about Sacramento State, the players that they brought in, how aggressive they were to get to the MAC. I think the two best teams that are going to rise up that a lot of people don't understand, if they want to go off the backs of like the Kennesaw States and the Delawares from last year, I think people are really underestimating good teams that come from the FCS and coming over.
I think it's going to be a lot of, I think on the opposite side, which we talked about even for the Mountain West, we could say the same thing for North Dakota State. Or sorry, what we said for North Dakota State, we could say the same thing for Sacramento State.
Yeah. Yeah, I think North Dakota State and Sacramento State come in and they compete for their respective championships.
Yeah, because I even said it earlier. I was like, I think North Dakota State can win the Mountain West pretty easily, or not pretty easily, but I think they have a shot of winning it first year.
I can't wait to get into the Mountain West because of the shakeup that happened too.
It's gonna that's gonna be one of the more interesting ones to do.
Yeah, but I just feel like they have the team to do it. I think the one thing about the MAC this year is so many teams lost a lot. And the people that gained a lot of players like Toledo and Sacramento State and even Eastern Michigan brought in a couple good players as well. Like these are the teams that are going to be competitive. Like the transfer portal is a thing, NIL is a thing, and you got to stick with the program. But I think with how aggressive Sacramento State wanted to join the conference, they mean business. So we'll see what happens, man. But who's your winner in the MAC?
My winner actually ended up being your runner-up. I have Toledo winning it. I
don't.
I think everything you mentioned previously, I fully agree with. And the thing about the MAC is it's not like the SEC or the Big Ten where you're really decided on 5-star talent. You're decided on a fully completed depth of roster, and you're decided a lot on the consistency. So quarterback play, experience, which Toledo has, the consistency of the offensive line Toledo has, being able to pretty much win the ugly games in November. Again, that's why I like that Sacramento State game that Toledo's got. It's going to be a very interesting one because it's going to be at Sac State, like you had mentioned. As long as Toledo doesn't beat themselves up or make stupid mistakes shooting themselves in the foot that's going to cost them games, I think Toledo will end up being just fine this season, which again, we've seen from the past that they're able to do that. They've kind of established themselves as a top team in the MAC year round.
I agree.
A lot of it is as well, I think they're one of the more higher talent pools, I guess, for a lack of a better term. When you look at the MAC, you look a lot at Toledo. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren just came out of the draft, but you look at guys like Quinyon Mitchell, Darius Alexander. Like they've been producing NFL talents, and they've been getting transfers over from Power 4 as well to play for Toledo and MACtion, which we're talking about a group of 6, not a Power 4, not a big conference like SEC, Big Ten, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think kind of the bigger thing and why I have them over Western Michigan is because I truly believe that the defense for Toledo is going to end up being the difference. We've talked about Western Michigan. They've got this amazing, returning 1,000-yard running back, returning, the former MAC conference player of the year, being their quarterback, who almost had 1,000 yards rushing and almost 3,000 yards passing, totaled over damn near almost 4,000 collective yards. But if Toledo's able to have even a top 3 defense in the MACtion, I think they'll be fine, because a lot of the conference opponents they're able to score, not as much of them they're able to get consistent stops. And again, a lot of the NFL talent that I stated has been defensive players. Everyone that I stated was a defensive player.
Yeah.
So Toledo's pretty much got a defense that is very consistent, locked down, and has been able to provide NFL talent, has been able to show that they can beat the Western Michigan. We'll see how they look against Sacramento State. They've shown that they've been able to sustain Bowling Green's offense. And, specifically for the consistency at the defense, that is why I have Toledo as the winner over Western Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, it is a gamble. You look at first-year coaches that do come into MAC, and they tend to do really, really well as well, because a lot of these guys are coming from bigger schools and trying to prove themselves. So think of like Sean Lewis is a bad example, but Sean Lewis was known for how creative his offense was, and now Colorado's a stepping stone to get to San Diego State. Pretty much got them into a Mountain West championship, I believe it was last year. So,
and I mean, again, you talk about first-year coaches that have looked good in the MAC, like Eddie George, Bowling Green, that we were just talking about.
was damn close, man. Had a couple of close
Again,
games.
that was one that I was also fighting with. There were a lot of good ones to fight with for the MACtion.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to get acclimated into a conference in a group of 5 than it is to get acclimated, going into SEC or something like that. That's the reason why they didn't make a move to the SEC. But I mean, everybody said that about Delaware. They came out the gate. Everybody said that about Kennesaw State. The next year they're in the conference championship.
I think Sacramento State is going to come out the gate swinging. North Dakota State definitely is going to come out the gate swinging.
Yeah, I think people underestimate these teams coming from the FCS, man. These guys been doing it for a long time, and they're eager to win. That's why they're moving up and accepting. I agree, just not first year. I mean, I can see that.
I think honestly
but it is impressive the players that they brought over on both of these teams.
I think the FCS is the college equivalent of what people thought that the XFL was going to be, because we're seeing a lot of those teams get boosted up into D1.
Facts.
Which honestly, shout out to the FCS schools for that. And being able to prove that you can do it in D1. Like, this is, we talk a lot about like the mega conferences or everything, and how 2014 playoff, how is that going to ruin college football? But let's look at these schools from the FCS moving up to Division I and doing really damn well there.
Yep. Yeah, talk about it.
Good on college football for that.
Facts. All right. Well, that's it for our MAC conference predictions. Next week is the SEC.
Yeah. How much am I about to buy in on John Summerall's stock? This is a joke.
Bro, I'm just letting you know right now that some very notable people are very high on Florida.
Don't tell me this. Don't tell me this, because I'm about to put Florida in the SEC. Don't do me this. Don't do me like this.
Just look it up, bro. I ain't gonna say no names, but there's some very notable people that are like.
I need you to DM me those names. I'm gonna need those names across my desk.
It's sore 10 wins, dude. Oh, here we go. Fishing mother freaking footballs in here, egging you on. All right. Top 5 players in the NFL. This week, we're going to start with tight ends.
Sorry. Damn. I failed my 50-50. I had my safety notes open.
Your safety notes?
Yeah, I had my safety notes open. I was like, I'm gambling.
Ah, man. There was a couple names on this list that this one was the hardest one to do. I'm just going to be straight up with
the tight ends list? Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. The safeties list was the hardest one.
Okay.
The safeties list I had a hard time with. The tight ends list, the tight ends list was hard because of the fact that, like, who do you really trust to be? Because our list is based off of production, future production, and the situation around them. And the situation around them, yeah. So let's just get into the first one, man. We both picked 𝗕𝘂𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀 Jr. number 5.
I really thought, I was like, I feel like I'm going for the shooting for the moon on this one.
Nah, man. I made a video, and I'm gonna let you just go after this because there's a lot to be said about this guy.
Yeah, no, by all means.
Not only did my man Soar have a fantastic interview with my man 𝗕𝘂𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀 Jr. He's such a fantastic person, man. One of the nicest dudes ever. But what we saw in college directly translated over into the NFL.
I was mad, bro. I wanted him.
And it was just, imagine him on the Eagles.
Could have happened.
Yeah.
Could have happened.
Again, do we need to talk about his historic 2024 season at Bowling Green? Nah, I don't think we need to. 103 targets, 4th among all qualified NFL receivers, 42 receptions, 8th amongst tight ends. 731 yards, 8th amongst tight ends. And he had 6 touchdowns. Average depth of target of 6 yards. And it's almost unbelievable that his average depth of target was that, because a lot of the plays that he made were big time plays downfield, time and time again, brother. I'm a huge fan of Harold Fannin Jr. I said that he's not far off from where Brock Bowers is, and I truly believe that. I mean, I think a lot of people need to peel back the tape. Fannin is not that far from Brock Bowers, guys, and we need to start having the conversation. I'm gonna let you spit because you had him at number 5 as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, this is definitely, you know, we talked about the production that he's had in the past. Obviously, you look at his historic Bowling Green, the stats that he just listed off in his rookie season, and then the future production. One thing that I want to note is for Harold Fannin is he did this with multiple quarterbacks that are still on the roster. The only newest addition was Taylon Green, and really, who knows how many passes he's going to be catching from Taylon Green. So no matter who you throw out there week 1 throughout the rest of the season, Deshaun Watson, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, he's accustomed to them. You know, it's the same thing that I asked with Ricky Pearsall during the Senior Bowl of, you know, when you're catching passes from a bunch of different quarterbacks, like it's different throwing motions, different loft, different power. Obviously, every quarterback's throwing motion and the way that they deliver the ball is going to be different. And he's already accustomed to that. So you can throw in whoever and he'll be able to adapt to it. And again, dude plays like a giant receiver. You know, he was the Eli Stowers before Eli Stowers. Like when they were talking about like, oh, Eli Stowers training at wide receiver, Harold Fannin was just like, I just do this, bro. I got crisp routes, Rice Krispie treat routes. I'm crisp like that. I don't know. I'm going off this internet, shooting from the hip with that one, but we'll work on it. But like polished route running, huge target volume, separation ability. Obviously, you know, we talked about the big time plays. And that was just off of year 1. Like it's still projecting, you know, he's still working on his blocking and physicality, but he's only had the 1 year. And he still looked pretty damn good. He was a better blocker than what people were saying that he could have been. This is very much again, peel back the tape of that. This could be what we were saying with Brock Bowers as well. This dude could end up being a top 3, maybe even the best in a few years.
I'm telling you, he's not that far behind Brock Bowers, bro. We need to start having a conversation quickly before people start getting lost. We're trying to warn you. Just go I'll peel back the numbers over on Twitter. And, you know, people looking at me like I got 5 heads. But number 4 for me, Colston Loveland.
Oh, man, I fought with Colston Loveland on this one too.
Well, the thing about Colston Loveland is, of course, you had Cole Kmet there. And one of the things that, you know, he came into was exactly that situation. Like, who was going to end up being the number 1 guy for the Bears at the tight end position, and how was he going to fit into a wide receiver room that was full of killers? You know, at the end of the day, let's just be honest about this. Like, you got guys like DJ Moore at the time. You had guys like Roma Dunze at the time. You had guys like Luther Burden, Omalade Zacchaeus. Where was he going to fit in?
Ollie.
Well, let me tell you, the guy played 16 games and was the leading receiver on his team. 713 yards he ended the season with 6 touchdowns. Did not fumble the ball once. Had 35 first downs. I'm a huge fan of Colston Loveland.
It's almost like there was a reason he was the first tight end off the board instead of Tyler Warren. Ryan Bowles was cooking, man.
I had Harold Fannin as my number 1 tight end for a long time, brother. And remember, it was the last week before we put out our rankings.
I remember you and I were Harold Fannin always, and then you eventually got on the Colston Loveland as the 1. I think I had him. I might have had him. I think I had him 3. I think I had Tyler Warren slightly above him, but I was like, I can see it. I think Colston Loveland's going to end up being an amazing tight end. And
let me tell you,
we've been pretty right about the young ones.
I was sitting here with a drink like this.
Yeah.
He had made one play on film, and I was like,
doing a little sippy, just
And I said, I have found my guy. He's number one. He's number one. I'm sorry. He's the number one guy.
Pepe there, like, yes, this is the one.
Yes, this is gonna piss people off, but he is the one. And I was.
He's the one. White heel.
And Morpheus was behind me. He said he's starting to believe.
Oh my God.
Colson, you know, even though I think 𝙎𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 Jr. is not that far away from Brock Bowers, which is a huge accomplishment, I think this is what Colston Loveland is right now. Now, a projection versus consistency is the only reason why I have Colston Loveland in front of 𝙎𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 Jr. right now, because of the situation that's there with the Cleveland Browns. 𝙎𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 Jr. could be the number one guy in the league, or he could be number 10. I think Colston Loveland has the tools to be very, very good for a long time and just fly under the radar his whole career, like Dallas Goedert, for example. Dallas Goedert is always on the top 5 list, but he's just flying under the radar, brother. Like, can never just crack that number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Colston Loveland's that guy, man. I got him at number 4. And yeah, who's your number 4?
Well, my number 4, you just said his name. I got Dallas Goedert.
That was not planned.
No.
It was just a good analogy at the time.
But, you know, exactly was what you said. Like, he's always been flying underneath the radar, man. Whenever the Eagles needed a crucial third down, Dallas Goedert was always there. The red zone, absolute red zone monster. For whatever reason.
Oh, wait. Hold on 1 second. I forgot Torque's in the house. Well, look, Torque.
Oh, my God. Get me out of here.
Hold on.
Out of here.
Go Tigers.
My wife got be here no more.
My wife got me that. All right, go ahead.
Oh man. But yeah, you know, he's always been flying underneath the radar. Absolute red zone monster whenever we needed him. For whatever reason, Kevin Patala was in his bag with Dallas Goedert in the red zone. Just multiple shovel passes for 2 yards. Plow your way through, pause, into the end zone. Like, dude has always been, he's kind of been the consistency blanket as well, even in the, you know, the middle of the field before, obviously, you know, before Mekhi Lemon's there. Now he'll be kind of the main guy in the middle of the field, but it's also, you know, the main thing with Dallas Goedert obviously has just been his age and just been his injuries. You know, there'll be a couple times where he'll miss a bit of a game, but you'll also notice as well, which is part of the reason why they drafted Eli Stowers, is when he goes down, there was really nobody behind him. Who are we looking at? Kakaterra? The man can't block to save his life, you know?
That man had 5,000 concussions at SMU, and they thought that, like...
Yeah, this man medically retired from football, but Jalen said, trust me, come out of retirement, I got you. Because we played at Oklahoma, and he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. But, you know, if you need an additional blocker, Dallas Goedert's got it. Crucial third down, he's got it. You want to get meshy with it? Throw back to 2 years ago against the Saints when Dallas Goedert single-handedly won the game against the Saints with a single mesh concept play.
Yeah.
You know, there was dude who takes a pay cut to stay with the Eagles. Again, just always flies underneath that radar. But dude is absolutely a top 5 tight end. If only he could stay healthy the entire season, but he'll probably miss a couple games still. But that's also why they drafted Eli Stowers. But that is besides the point.
Whenever you need a first down,
he's there.
He's there.
His last name consists of 2 great things: God and dirt. What more could a football player want in a name? This dude was built in a lab. This is not a real name.
Oh man,
that's John football right there.
We get it. All right, so next one up. My number 3 is George Kittle. I mean, on my all-time list of tight ends, anytime that the Kelsey versus Kittle situation, you know, gets brought up, everybody knows my opinion about Kittle. Well, there's not really a good way to measure a block in the NFL from a tight end. I understand he had a short season cut with injuries, so it's been like every season. This man has never played a full season healthy. Never.
It's the same thing with Dallas Goedert, man. Somebody get these dudes elixirs of life, please.
But still ended up having 628 yards, averaging 11 yards per catch and 7 touchdowns. And is still one of the most efficient blocking tight ends that we've ever seen, if not ever. And I mean that with all sincerity to our all fathers at the tight end position, including Gronk. George Kittle may be the best of all time. And I say that with all due respect.
I've never seen a dude laugh pancaking like a defensive end.
It's a beautiful sight to see.
Like, this dude belongs to the psych ward, and I love it. That's what I want a tight end.
So, I mean, with that being said, there's not a lot to say on George Kittle. Had a year cut short. He could have been much higher on this list. He was on a trajectory to be much higher on the list as well. But George Kittle is just consistently whatever you need. How is he open in the middle of the field the way he is? I mean, people want to talk about Travis Kelce, but if George Kittle didn't spend so much time actually being an efficient blocker, at some points of time, he was a better catcher of the football than Travis Kelce. Let's have the conversation.
Especially when you're blocking for, Christian McCaffrey. Like, that's part of your job as the tight end. So obviously they're going to lean on Christian McCaffrey who's been their main weapon, both at running back and receiver. Yep. So yeah, you're going to get called into doing a lot more smash mouth blocking. But again, dude is an efficient blocker and he loves to block. That's, he's always 100% every single play. He's always in the frame of play. He's always engaging in blocking. It's never anything lazy. It's always clean, precise, and dominant.
Mm-hmm. All the time. All right, who's your number 3?
My number 3 is going to end up being Brock Bowers over here. Dude is, we've talked a lot about Brock Bowers. I still don't think we've seen the peak of him yet, but dude is not a traditional tight end. Defense has to account for him slot, out wide, screens, yards after the catch. And then, once he gets the hand on the ball, dude's basically becomes a running back. Like, he's got electric speed. Kind of the main thing that he's at 3 is just because my 1 and 2, I think there's a lot more proven dominance, and they've also shown that, they've shown a bit more. I think Brock Bowers is sort of getting to that, but they've shown that they pretty much can be the main weapon for their teams. I think Brock Bowers is slowly getting to that a little bit, and he's building his resume. So I think for now, I feel like 3 is respectable. Like, dude is still definitely a top 3, but I think as the years go on, he'll be fighting for second, first.
Yeah, people saying that he's number 1 right now. It's just...
No, I don't think he's number 1, especially, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to our number 1 guy later, but I'm sure we have probably the same one.
Yep. To follow that up, Brock Bowers is my number 2. I mean, what can you say about the guy? Like, he does it all. I mean, in the passing game, he looks slow when he's running routes, but he's just running past people constantly. I just wish that he'd shave his hair off,
go bald headed, and
just send it home.
This does not affect your ranking, but just send it home.
And just grow a goatee, bro. You look like a serial killer. That's how I want my tight ends to look on my creative players.
George Kittle's laughing while pancake blocking. Shave it off, send it home, grow that goatee. Again, this doesn't affect the ranking because I can already see the comments being like, "Are we really going off of hair?" No, you just are projecting.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I mean, I think he's just a simple guy. Like, whatever. I'm not too worried. I don't know if you guys ever heard Brock Bowers talk, but he talks way different than he actually plays the game of football, and it's hilarious to me. But man,
this is just nonchalant.
Brock is just different, man. He's gonna be a number 3 receiver for a very, very long time. Hopefully he stays healthy enough. Hopefully the Raiders don't just continue to ram the ball his way every single down. Allow him to become a better blocker in the NFL than I know he's capable of. That's the one knock against Brock, is like, he's not that great of a blocker in the NFL. But like in college, that was the one thing that I praise him for the most, is like that everybody talks about Oscar Delp. Where y'all think Oscar Delp got it from? Let's be honest here.
We're talking about Oscar Delp and Darnell Washington. It was like, hello, Brock?
Yep. It's crazy. But Brock's definitely deserving to be number 2, just not right now at the number 1 position. The guy that is at number 1 definitely deserves to be there this year. But who's your number 2 before we get to that?
I mean, my number 2 is, again, the Brock definitely deserves. I can see Brock being number 2, but right now, my number 2 is proven that he deserves there, and it's George Kittle. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's, again, pure respect for greatness. If the dude stays healthy for a full season, he can be one of the most dominant weapons, like tight ends, running backs, receivers, one of the most dominant weapons in the NFL. Like, he can just have that full healthy season. Dude is absolutely dominant as a receiver. He's dominant as a blocker, which helps create the run game, which helps get Christian McCaffrey going. Able to create explosive plays. He breaks tackles. And again, I think if it were not for him, you would see Christian McCaffrey's production drop.
Yep.
Which is not saying much, because even when Brock Bowers was injured, Christian McCaffrey still produced. But you look at it when Brock Bowers is there versus when Brock Bowers is not there. You could see where a bit of that drop-off comes into. Like, they both make each other better. And again, the reason why he's just not number 1 is the age, the mileage, durability concerns. And again, I'm pretty sure both of us have the same number 1. So I could confidently say that our guy, the number 1 guy, has just earned it. I don't think there's any debate.
Yeah.
It's going to be really funny if we both have different number 1s, but I doubt it.
My number 1 is Travis Kelce. No, I'm just kidding. What Trey McBride's doing in the league right now is it's unbelievable. I mean, he's going to be good for a very, very, very long time. And I agree with Dana here. Trey put up 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 numbers from the tight end position, 123 receptions with a single drop. And finally figured out the red zone. 11 touchdowns. You're damn right. He better be number 1 on this list.
And that's why I'd pick Travis Kelce now.
Yeah. He definitely deserves to be the number 1 receiver, the number 1 tight end, top 5 receiver, I guess you could say, in the league at this point in time, too. Constantly shows up, constantly putting up, every 4 or 5 games putting up, not double digits, but
weapon, not including quarterback. But
yeah, I mean, like Dana said, he has an amazing target to reception ratio, only 1 drop as well. Just can do it all. He's super fast, super shifty, and he's way stronger than what people give him credit for as well. And a lot of his production is in the middle of the field. But a lot of the production also comes with the fact that I'm getting first downs against you every single time. I'm putting a stiff arm. Yeah, I had 63 first downs this year. 63. And I'm not a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like looking at that stat because I think it's important. The guys that are constantly putting up 60, 70, 80 first downs at receiver are constantly the guys that are getting the bigger contracts in the NFL too. Look over it year after year after year. It's a proven stat for a receiver. First downs get you paid. And that's probably the most impressive.
There's a reason people go big third down here, and you obviously look towards your number 1 receiver.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're talking about a guy that played in 17 games. So, of course, he stays healthy. You know what I'm saying? Had 63 first downs. That means he's getting close to 4 first downs a game. That's helping your team. That's putting your team in a good position. That's being reliable, especially when you match it up with just 1 drop. He's the best right now. I don't think anybody can dispute it. And a lot of people want to talk about guys that are doing it both ways. You're looking at your next George Kittle.
Yeah.
Literally. You're looking at your next George Kittle that's not named George Kittle. Trey McBride is the best tight end in the league right now.
And on top of it, it's, it's also telling when defenses know he's getting the football and you're still unable to stop him. Again, everything that was talked about, the elite hands, the route running, the yak. And again, he's able to do this both. He's able to beat both zone and man coverage. So defenses can throw whatever schemes they want at him. Trey McBride is still carving it up.
Yep. He's a beast.
And especially on a Cardinals team that went through so many quarterbacks, so many like ups and downs throughout the season, mainly more downs than anything. I mean, it was. Could you imagine what he would have been like? Even the Browns. Like we talked about what Harold Fannin had when he was with the Browns, and he went through so many quarterbacks. Any other team that you could have put Trey McBride on, it would have been an undisputed. Like it's already undisputed tight end one, but everybody would have been like, yeah, there's no question about it.
Yep, for sure. Well, kind of got an announcement to make on this next slide here. Our guy Lincoln, newest member.
There he is.
Of Gridiron Apex, man.
Yes. We're drafting him.
With the number one pick in the 2026 NFL draft.
Ooh, Tucker Kraft's a good one, too.
Yeah. He had... What the hell?
Okay, I guess it wasn't a good one. Never mind.
I accidentally pressed it. It was on a delay. What the hell? That scared the shit out of me. Let's go through Don's list first. Hunter Henry. I don't blame him there. Kyle Pitts had a good year this year. Brock Bowers, George Kittle, and Trey McBride. My man Lincoln comes in with the hot gas, though. Tucker Kraft. I can see what he says with that because Tucker Kraft is one of them ones when he's healthy, bro. One of those ones.
I was debating with Tucker. I was debating with Tucker Kraft and Kyle Pitts for number 5, but again, those were honorable mentions. I just with Harold Fannin Jr., I was like, I can't. That was my guy.
Harold Fannin, Brock Bowers, George Kittle, and Trey McBride. So we had a unanimous number 1 tight end. So our top 9 tight ends.
Oh, and Loveland too, yeah.
Top 9 tight ends. Kraft, Henry, Loveland, Pitts, Goddard. So our top 5 in the Gridiron Apex is Goddard, Fannin, Bowers, Kittle, and McBride. So that's the official list right there.
Laporta, honorable mention.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no bullshit there. There's no bullshit there.
I think a lot of
he would be right there at number 10.
Yeah, I was about to say.
This is a top 10. Laporta is number 10. Sorry, not sorry, Travis Kelce, but he's going right there at the 10 spot. He would round this list out. All right, so the next one up was the hardest list to do. The hardest list for me to do here was the safeties list, right? Let me make sure I got my notes up here.
I have a feeling not a lot of people might not like mine. Before Kraft got injured, they had him a red zone demon. Oh, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Him and what's his? They got 2 tight ends. Who's the other dude?
Hunter
Kraft.
No, I'm thinking of the Patriots. Sorry. Tucker Kraft and who? Oh yeah, who is? Why can't I not think of the other Green Bay? Where's Hayden when you need him, bro? Musgrave. Luke Musgrave. There you go.
Luke Musgrave. There you go.
I was like, the second I see what it starts with, I'm gonna know
it. Yeah, y'all spelled it wrong 5 times. Musgrave. There was a kid at the Senior Bowl that went up to Luke Musgrave.
Oh my god!
You remember this?
I'm the one that told you about it. Yes, because I'd found me and a bunch of other guys at the Senior Bowl were talking about it. I don't remember what group they were. I think it was. I don't know, but they were one of the groups that the first question I heard of them was be like, if you were an animal, I'm like, all right, I'm done talking to you. But yeah, they showed like a video of this kid interviewing Luke Musgrave, and the question was so horrendous that he was like, I'm not answering that. It was like, would you rather, I think it was like be in a nightclub with Ray Lewis, an elevator. It was basically the things, or like hang out with Aaron Hernandez, something along the lines. And he was like, I'm not answering that.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Luke Musgrave. Yeah, that dude.
It was nasty work. I don't think that kid was invited back.
No, he wasn't. Okay, I found it. Let me see if I can download the video real quick. But yeah, it was disgusting work, bro. Like I mean, how could you? It's like, how could you have your young son ask this question unless your son is just a freakazoid as well?
First year too?
That was our second year. That was our second year.
Okay, I think I remember seeing that kid and that dad our first year. And then again, I saw them again the second year. And yeah, I was like, I saw that and I was like, that's wild.
Hold on, let me see. When was the date of this? Because it might have been our first year. Hold on a second. I don't know. I can't see the front of his thing. Let me see. 2023. 23 through 4, 25, 26. Oh, this would have been our first year.
Would it have been our first? Okay.
Yep, would have been our first year.
All right, then never mind. But I definitely saw them, and I was like, because I remember I was like,
all right,
who's this kid?
Kind of a little scary question.
Yeah, hold up. Let me put it over here.
Like, come on, man, I'm not 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲𝗀𝗀. That kid's on the FBI's watch list.
All right, let me make sure that we can play it back here.
And what's sad too is like you see the fit of like Luke Musgrave. He's in the flip flops and everything.
Right after practice, bro.
Right after practice, trying to just hit the showers, and then he's got to deal with this. It's also like they found him in the parking lot too. Like,
yeah. So here you go. Here's a video. This is right after practice.
This kind of a little scary question. Sure. Would you rather go to a strip club with Ray Lewis, a knife show with O.J. Simpson, or be in a car late at night with Aaron Hernandez?
I'm not going to answer that one.
It's a simple question, Doctor.
Yeah, that was honestly work, bro.
These are the type of dudes that embarrass the Senior Bowl year after year after year. Like, is it funny? Yes, but like that's inappropriate, bro. That's inappropriate.
That's one of those intrusive thoughts, one. But you're like, obviously, I'm not gonna ask that.
Yeah, that's one of the ones where you ask him his freshman year of college.
That's the SNL skit, you know.
It's nasty work, bro. Y'all see what they be doing to these guys, man. It's unfair.
How they massacred my boy.
But let's get into our safeties list. I was very surprised to not have seen this guy on you and Don's list. 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is at my number 5.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah, I battled with that. This one was tough.
Bruh. Bruh. Yeah, he's so good, bro. When we talk about downhill striker, when we talk about violent, when we talk about playing in McDonald's complex defense, when we talk about versatility, when we talk about possessing the size of a linebacker in stature, we told y'all about 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. We said, do not let this man go to the Eagles. Do not let this man go to the Ravens. And y'all decide to let this man go to the Seahawks under Mike McDonald. You can't win. You can't win.
Philly bad.
He's amazing, man. I will never forget his historic week 14. Do y'all remember this against the Atlanta Falcons? Man, Warren made history. He became the first player since Adrian Wilson. Shout out to the Cardinals, by the way. My man, Adrian Wilson, one of the most underrated safeties. Dana, go ahead and put the crying emojis in the chat. You remember Adrian Wilson like I do. He broke his 2010 record. He recorded a sack, a blocked field goal, and secured an interception in the same game. Yeah. Finished runner-up as Defensive Player of the Year. Or Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Brother, how was he passed in the first round? We don't know. How was Cooper DeJean passed in the first round, you know?
Yeah.
Well, scientists are still trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's a beast. He was third on the team in tackles, man. Had 11 passes defended, 2.5 sacks, and an interception. He was absolutely remarkable, and he's only going to get better, bro. He's only going to get better.
Oh, for sure. It's gonna be scary times.
It's gonna be scary times for the Seahawks, or for the NFC West for a very long time.
Yeah,
He's at my number 5 spot. Who's at
the
your
NFC
number?
West is gonna be fun to watch minus the Cardinals.
What have I been saying for years, Sor?
NFC West is the best division until proven otherwise.
Until proven otherwise. I've been saying this shit every year.